Hi guys. Uh, it's late again. I was struggling with trying to come up with a message for tomorrow, this morning actually, and yeah, it's taking me a little bit. I kind of had to lick my wounds. The message I put out yesterday, nobody looked at. Day before, hardly anybody looked at it. Uh, but I just have to go back and regroup because my whole thing is trying to wake people up. And if I manage to get one person awake, then I've accomplished my goal. Uh, so anyway, started thinking about this, and then I heard a guy today talking about freedom and uh, how to get people's attention. Uh, the problem a lot of times is when you talk about freedom, freedom's different for everybody. So I started thinking about that, and I thought, yeah, that really is true. And the freedom that our forefathers were talking about in the Constitution also was your inherent freedoms, God-given freedoms at birth. When you're born with basically what they said: uh, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those aren't government issued, state issued, or anything else. They're your human rights. Okay, and nobody has any business uh, taking those from you or trying to say that they'll allow you to do this or you allow you to do that. So those are your rights, and they're in the Constitution. That's why the Constitution is so important. And I know that there's groups out there like blacks and American Indians, one of which I am, and I know that those things haven't been particularly done right for you guys. Uh, One of the problems I see with that right now is the government is utilizing those things to pit different groups against each other, and it's the old idea of divide and conquer, and we have to get past that. And the thing I want to remind a lot of you guys about is this. I know a lot of you are aware that things aren't what they're supposed to be. You're not sure why or whatever, but these people, uh, and it's not the Republican Democrats. These people have been bought off. We're being run by what's called the New World Order, and it's large corporations and some certain elite families. Okay, and this has been going on for hundreds of years. The bloodlines in this thing would shock you if you knew who was related to who here, but they run deep, and their goal is to kill you. That's what's called Agenda 21. Okay, and Agenda 21's that's their plan is to exterminate 92% of the world population. So you have to understand that they don't give a damn about your health care. They don't care about your children, your grandchildren, you. The initial outcome of this is your death, okay? Our death. And you need to understand that. And it doesn't matter who they are. You guys that are throwing things out there, name calling and everything, whites, blacks, Mexicans, whatever. As an Alaskan Indian, I can tell you this. We were set up in corporations, and the corporation that I belong to, our fearless leaders stole everything from us, all of it. We got nothing. So corruption exists in all groups of people. So when you're throwing a finger at somebody else, you remember that. I know that a lot of you guys know that already, but you need to remember it and stop it. The corrupt people come in all sizes and all colors, and they don't give a damn about the people, okay? And that doesn't represent any of us, the rest of us. And we have to stand together. We have to stop this thing. And I'm going to throw this out there real quickly. If we make it to another election, I don't think we're going to get that far unless people stand up. But if we make it that far, none of you have any business voting for a Democrat or a Republican that's in office now. They're doing what they're being told to do, and they are out to destroy us. If you get a chance to vote independent or the Tea Party, somebody that is for the Constitution, period. There's a few Democrats and Republicans out there that are still good people. But if you know them and you know that that's what they're about, that's one thing. Otherwise, don't do it. It's like somebody said, definition of an idiot is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's what we're doing right now. Now we're killing ourselves. We're about done right now, you guys. So find out what that freedom means to you, whether it's powwows, if that's important to you, your culture, your babies, your grandkids, your families. Where is your line in the sand? When are you willing to say no, not any further? You need to find out where that's at, and you need to make a commitment to it, because we're almost fully baked here, you guys. I've got this guy on this clip. He puts it easier for you to understand, I think. I like the way he puts things, and I think it's easier for you to get what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to let him do it. It's just like I wish that a couple of videos ago you would have watched Professor Griff from Public Enemy, because he's entertaining and he hit it right on the head. So if you get a chance, go back and watch that, please. All right, I'm going to put this guy on. I'll try to come back for a couple minutes. Thanks.
What freedom is and what freedom isn't. And so I want to talk briefly about the case Wickard versus Filburn. That was a Supreme Court case that extended greatly the power of the federal government using the Commerce Clause. I believe it's Section 1, Article 8 of the Constitution, which means that the government has the right to keep commerce regular amongst the states, not to regulate all the aspects of commerce. But the case was that this farmer, Filburn, Roscoe Filburn, was growing wheat on his own farm for his own consumption. Wasn't going to go into the economy, wasn't going to be sold across state lines. It was to be used with his own farm, on his own farm, for his own animals, for his own consumption. Well, Wickard, the Secretary of Agriculture, brought the case, and it was Wickard versus Filburn, and the Supreme Court decided that the federal government does indeed have the right to tell a farmer what he can farm on his own property for his own consumption. Now, anyone knows that that's not freedom. Here's a case where the Supreme Court violated a person's natural right, his opportunity to have right and control over his own property. And they've used that breach of freedom to begin to now regulate almost every aspect of our lives. The Commerce Clause. Oh, if it's commerce, we can regulate it. And they do. And that's not freedom. And I appreciate Roscoe Phil Byrne making the fight, but I wonder what would have happened if Roscoe Philburn would have said after the Supreme Court ruled against him, saying you cannot farm what you want to farm on your own land. If he would have said like Cliven Bundy, I don't think so. I think the farm is mine. I think I'll farm it the way I see fit. And had he took that stand, maybe we could have rolled back the power of the federal government where they use the Commerce Clause against us. You know, at some point, you have to say that my freedom is worth more than my life. That I don't care. I know what natural rights are mine. They don't come to me from the government. They come to me from birth. They're natural to me, to my being. They come from me, from nature's God. And he says, I'm sorry, you may take me out in a body bag, but you won't stop me from growing the wheat on my own farm for my own consumption. Had he drawn a hard line then, maybe we wouldn't be where we're at now. I'm glad that there are people starting to draw a hard line. They're beginning to value their freedom more than their life. And it is the citizens of this country, the average citizen, that's going to save our freedom. Politicians are not going to save our freedom. They talk a good talk, but they don't walk the walk. When the Republicans control all three branches of the government, the size and scope of government marches on. When the Democrats control all three branches of the government, the size and scope of government marches on. By their works, by what they do, it's who they are. They're on the same side. They play a little game for our consumption, saying that one is going to protect freedom and the other one's going to help out the downtrodden. And in the meantime, freedom continues to be taken away from us. I just want to say that I think it's time that those who love freedom begin to draw a hard line. That they begin to love freedom even more than they love their life. Those who gave us this freedom loved it more than they loved their life. They gave us a great gift. Put our lives in order. Make things square with our family. Make things square with our God. Get things straight in our lives so that when you have to, in your own little realm, in your own little sphere, draw a hard line saying, no, I'm not going to. It's my rights. They come to me. But you can stand. Draw a line. Hope you'll begin to do. I'm here on my ranch, working my cows. This week, we had a drone go over us. What the heck is that? Why do you have to run a drone over us and take a look at what we're doing while working? We're not hurting anybody. We're not causing anybody problems. What you do and looking down our backs. Things are changing. America, please. Those of you who love freedom, stand up.
Okay, I'm back real quick here. Well, all I want to say is for some of you people out there, if you feel like things haven't been fair across the board, I think a lot of people are going to agree with you, okay? But here's the deal. You have people right now that are hell-bent on destroying this country and us, okay? It doesn't matter what party you're talking about. They don't have your best interest in mind. They're not going to make it better for you. Their plan is to exterminate 92% of the population. How are they going to possibly care whether you're being treated the way that you should be treated or anything? These are bad people. That's all I'm going to say about it, okay? You guys need to think about it. And like this guy said, figure out where you're willing to stand and when you're willing to give your life for it, because that will come into play probably someplace. Your families depend on it. I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.